Okay, I'm going to read you the story of the Easter morning for the Christian faith. So, what happened after Jesus' crucifixion? So, you've got to remember, I'm going to read you the first paragraph about what happened before Jesus entered the tomb. Okay, so that's a little bit of an idea of what happened afterwards. Okay, ready for story time. Two thieves were being crucified at the same time as Jesus, one on the one on the right and one on the left. One of the criminals who hung next to Jesus hurled insults at him. "Are you the Christ? Why don't you save yourselves and us too?" But the other thief disagreed with him and said, "Aren't you afraid of God since you are under the same sentence? We are being punished because we did wrong things, but this man has done nothing wrong." Then he said to Jesus, "Remember me when you come into your kingdom." Jesus told him, "I tell you the truth. Today you will be with me in heaven." This happened at 12 noon. And from then until 3 p.m. it was dark because the sun did not shine. At 3 o'clock, Jesus cried out in a loud voice, my God, why have you left me?" Then Jesus cried out in a loud voice again, "It is finished." And he died. A Roman centurion was standing in front of Jesus and heard his cry and saw how he died. He said, "Surely this man was the Son of God." So remember, everyone thinks that he might have been wrongly convicted, because the government in that time didn't like Jesus claiming that he had these fantastic powers of being the Son of God. So the next day was the Sabbath. So that is a Saturday of Jewish holy day. The Jews didn't want the bodies left on the crosses. So later, an important Jewish council member called Joseph of Arimathea asked Pilate Jesus' body. Now, Pilate gave his permission for Joseph to remove his body. He and Nicodemus, another council member, took Jesus' body and wrapped it in strips of cloth, which was the Jewish burial custom. So you'd wrap the body in cloth. So near the place where Jesus was crucified, there was a garden that Joseph had owned, and in the garden was a tomb that no one else had ever used. So they buried Jesus in the tomb. The Romans put their best guards at the tomb, and the Jewish leaders had a massive stone rolled in front of it to stop Jesus' followers from stealing the body and saying that he had come back to life. So Jesus' body is in a tomb. It's being guarded as well, and it's got this huge boulder in front of it, so that all of his followers, all of his fans, they wouldn't steal the body. So early on Sunday morning, Mary Magdalene, one of Jesus's followers, she becomes really important, so remember her. And some other women went to the tomb to put spices onto the body to stop it from smelling. Now, when they got to the tomb, they discovered that the stone had been rolled away from the entrance. They wondered what had happened. Suddenly, two men dressed in white robes that glowed appeared in the tomb. The women were very frightened, but the men said, "He's not here. He has risen, just as he said." Then the women remembered what Jesus had said. The woman left the tomb and went to go and tell the other disciples about what happened. The others didn't believe the women because it sounded like rubbish. But Peter and John, remember those are his closest disciples, got up and ran to the tomb. So they believed that he would have risen. They found it empty and only strips of cloth lying in it. When they saw the empty grave, they believed that Jesus had risen. Then the disciples went home. Mary stayed at the tomb and was very sad, and she was upset and crying. She turned away from the tomb and saw Jesus there, but she didn't know it was Jesus. "Why are you crying? Who are you looking for?" Jesus asked her. She thought that it was a gardener, and so she said to him, "If you took Jesus' body away, please just tell me where he is so I can go and see him." Jesus said to her, "Mary." She turned to look at the man properly and saw that it was Jesus. She said to him, "Rabboni," So this means teacher in Hebrew. She went to go and hug Jesus, but he said, "Don't hold on me because I have not gone back to heaven yet. But go and tell my disciples that I am going back to heaven." So Mary went back and told the disciples all about what had happened and that she had seen Jesus alive.